welcome to Now We're Cooking in Carol's Kitchen. Today I am making something a little different. It is stuffed shells, and instead of doing your typical regatta cheese and cheese stuffing, I'm doing a mushroom and spinach scallops. Amazing, it's good, and you're gonna love it. But I'm gonna show you how I make my sauce. Here I have already cooked some grape-sized tomatoes, red and orange bell peppers with some scallops, red onions, and white onions, and about 8 cloves of garlic. So what I do with that, after it's already cooked at 350 for about 30 minutes, I'm going to put it in my food processor or my Vitamix. And this really makes a fantastic homemade tomato sauce. Now, any Italian husband or wife would love this. It's really great over meatballs and your spaghetti. And I did make some homemade meatballs, and I will show you that later on in my next video, which all will be included in today's episode. Okay. Now I did put about half a cup of olive oil mixed in with the vegetables before I cooked it, and then I gave it about 2 tablespoons of Italian dressing on top of it, and some salt and pepper. And a little trick that I have also done to make things really convenient and easy, I go ahead and mix salt, pepper, and garlic in my container. This is 1 cup of salt, 1 cup of pepper, and 1 cup of garlic, which is ground garlic. Then, if you wanted to spice it up with Italian flavors, I go ahead and mix even amount of salt, pepper, garlic, oregano, parsley, basil. I mix it all together, and this is ready to go anytime you want. Then, I'm always needing a olive oil base with a bunch of herbs in it. This is really good for dipping your crusty bread in it. And so this is what I get at a local Italian market. This is nothing but all your Italian seasoning. And I put it in a jar, and I also put raw garlic in it and some Parmesan cheese with about 1 cup of olive oil. And anytime I need to use it, you just shake it up and take out a tablespoon, whatever you might need. And I usually add this to my pasta as it's cooking. So just a little shortcut, which I love shortcuts. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get this started. Want everything to be nice and parade. And I'm going to actually stir it up because some of the peppers and the onions are on top. Now it's going to come out like a paste. And what I'm going to do is put it in my Dutch oven pan here. And turn my burner on medium heat. I'm going to add a jar of my Italian tomatoes. I love this. This is a staple I keep in my house all the time. When I go shopping, I usually buy about 4 at one time. So I'm going to add that in here also. Then I'm going to add 1 can of tomatoes. And what I like to do, take my rings off. I don't want to get any of the sauce in my rings. Then I just take a tomato and smush it with my hands. I like to feel that I'm getting every little piece of it crushed. wash my hands. And that is so simple. And I did make some meatballs earlier. I also got 7 more minutes before these are finished. And the video will have the recipe typed out for you. Now I've got about 6 minutes left on the meatballs, so I'm gonna go ahead and flip them for the last 5 minutes. Put my rings back on so I don't lose them. Okay, and here is some of the meatballs that's already finished. And all this is 1 pound of ground round, 1 pound of Italian sausage, and I use hot, or you could use mild, and 1 pound of ground pork. Now I've got 1 cup of milk, half a cup of ricotta cheese, 2 eggs, 3 garlics, salt and pepper, and 1 cup of Parmesan cheese. And mix everything really good, make it into the meatballs of your size, cook it at a 400 for 25 to 35 minutes, depends on the size. And my tester Joe already had one. He said they were amazing. And but instead of taking his word for it, I think I might have to dig into this. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to say, I've got 1 cup of Italian breadcrumbs in this. Amazing. You've got to try this. And with the sauce on top of this, I bet it's going to be really, really good. So, I've got the stuffed shells cooking. And as soon as the stuffed shells are done, about 10 to 12 minutes, I put them in a bath of ice water. You don't want the cooking to stop. Then, the way I made the stuffing, this is 2 pounds of portobello mushrooms, 4 scallops, and you're gonna cook that down for about 10 minutes until the mushrooms are cooked. And then I added 2 pounds of baby spinach and added that to it. And this is what we get from it. So to this I'm going to add, let me bring this over here so you can see it. Then I'm going to add 2 cups of ricotta cheese. This is something a little different. It's going to have a really nice texture because of the mushrooms and the spinach. Then I'm going to add, I went ahead and grated some Parmesan cheese earlier. You could also use a Parmesan Reggiano cheese also, which I have already here. So I'm going to put about maybe half a cup of the Reggiano cheese, and then about a cup Parmesan cheese. And make sure you stir this up really good. So you're going to stuff this in the shells. And then the magic starts. My children, as they were growing up, they never wanted to eat at other people's homes. They've always had the kids come to our house because they had no clue what mom's gonna cook. And the children would just, when they came over, since they were in kindergarten until they graduated, I always had 4 to 6 teenagers at my house at all times, especially sports nights when they had to play baseball or basketball. One of the students, because we had a private Christian school, and one of the students said, you know, Miss Carol, if there is such a thing as reincarnation, I really want to come back as your dog, because we had a little dog, a little dachshund. Her name is Heidi, and she ate what we ate, and she lived to be a good 12 years old. Now, I didn't give her everything that was salty or real spicy, but she ate very well. And the kids were like, I want to be your dog one day because you never go hungry around here. So, okay, I think I've got about 5 more minutes for the noodles to cook, and then I'll be back. I'm going to show you how we stuff them. Thank you. Right, so welcome back to Now We're Cooking in Carol's Kitchen. I got my stuffed shells already stuffed with the spinach and the mushroom mix. And then what I do here is I go ahead and have the cheese grated. And because I don't want cheese all over my sauce, I kind of like pat just a little bit on top. And then I put mozzarella cheese, I pack it down. And because I made so much, I doubled this recipe because I just love cooking for a crowd. So, and I also like putting stuff in my freezer for the next time I want to have stuffed shells that's already done. So I put the sauce in the bottom of the pan, and you put the stuffed shell right, squeeze it in between. Now another thing I also do, because I love shortcuts, I grate my cheese in advance, and I keep it in the mason jar in my refrigerator. So anytime I need my cheese, it's already ready for me to use. Okay, now this is gonna go in the oven at 400 degrees for about 20 to 25 minutes until it's bubbly and the cheese is brown on top. And I went ahead and took this out of the oven. Let me bring it over so you can see it. It literally just came out of the oven. Now I'm going to taste it. And Joe hasn't even tasted it yet. Move this over a little bit. Okay. I put about 1.5 cups to 2 cups of sauce in the bottom. And then I kind of put a little bit more sauce in between each shell. Now, I'm gonna wait for this all day long. I'm so hungry. You can see the mushroom, the spinach, the sauce, the cheese. Very good. One thing's missing. Now, you can add some red pepper flakes into your sauce while it's cooking, but some people don't like it hot and spicy, like we do. And you can use the amount of salt and pepper you like. We don't use a whole lot of salt, so feel free to add more to your taste, to your tasting and how you like it. So, this is so good. So this is my stuffed shells. Bon appetit and have a good night. Thank you.